Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to develop this awesome looking laundry website. So without further ado, let's take a look at how this awesome laundry website is being developed. So let's jump right into it. So I have opened my code editor and you can see that I've created my style sheet here and my index.html. So let's jump right into it. So with regards to that, let me open my folder. When you open my folder, you could see that my index.html is here and also my CSS is here, and you could see the images which I'll be using to develop this website. So let's just jump right into it. So when I open my code editor and move to my HTML file, all we just have to do is create the HTML template so that we can start with. So HTML and select the HTML file, which is the current HTML tag that we normally use. So now, before we jump right into the body aspect, all we just have to do is link our style sheet to our HTML. So all we just have to do is type linked. Now uh, let's give the name of our style sheet, and the name of our style is style.css. So basically we have linked our style sheet to what our HTML. So let's jump right into the body aspect and start coding. First of all, let's take a look at our website. You could see that with regards to this our website, we have a navigation bar, which is this aspect, and also the content aspect. So with regards to this, you could see that our navigation bar have been divided into three sets, which is one, which is the logo, and two and three. So let's just jump right into it and start with our navigation bar. So we create a div element and give the div element a class name of, let's say, nav bar. Okay, nav bar. So since our navigation bar is being divided into three aspects, I have to create three div tags within our navigation bar. Let me change it's nav bar. Okay, so all I just have to do is create the three div elements. So this is my first div, this is my second div. But with regards to this tutorial, you can create the div this way. So my third div, so that's basically the three div that I need to create. But you can also do so by just typing div then times 3. It will give you the same result by creating a div element 3 times. So let's give our div let's give the div a class name. So when we take a look at our navigation bar, we have the right side, we have the middle, and also the left side. So let me name our navigation bar div in such manner. So I'll just give it a class name of, let's see, left underscore nav. Then the second div, let's give it a class name of let's say middle underscore nav. Middle underscore nav. And lastly, let's give it a class name of, let's see, right underscore nav. Now with regards to this, I'll just type, for the sake of display purposes, let me just make it this way. With regards to the left navbar, I'll just type left, and the middle I'll just type middle, and also the right navbar I'll just type right. Now when we save it and open our browser, now let's open our HTML tag, index.html. When we open it in Chrome, you could see that it has been displayed this way, and that's not what we want to achieve. So first of all, we have to call this navbar and display it on the same line. So all we just have to do is call this navbar. But before that, normally when I'm developing my website for the first time, I normally get rid of my padding and margin, because it's really important in terms of developing a website. So all I just have to do is the asterisk sign in between the curly bracket, give a margin of, let's see, 0, pixels and give a padding of, let's see, a padding of 0 pixels, so that it will remove margin and padding in our HTML. So without further ado, let's now call our navigation bar class. So all we just have to do is dot, then nav bar, then double curly braces. In between our double curly braces, all we just have to do is display it on the same line. So we just have to come in between the nav bar and type display and give it a display property of flex. Now when we save it, and also save our HTML tag, and now open our browser, now when we refresh, you can see that it has been displayed on the same line, but that's not what we want to achieve. We want to space it out, so we just have to add a justify content of, let's see, space between. Now let's see it and open. When we refresh it, you could see that our element have been spaced out evenly, but you could see that it's touching the edges, so we need to give it a margin to move it away from the edges. So all we just have to do is give it a margin of, so let's see, a margin of 40 pixels. So margin of 40 pixels, and now let's save it. And when we open our browser and refresh, you can see that our element have moved away from the edges of our website. So with regards to this, we can now embed our logo and our middle aspect and also our card. So first of all, let's take a look at the logo. So all we just have to do is go to the first navbar, which is the left. Let me do this navbar this way so that we can see it really well. Now let's move to the first navbar, which is the left navbar. Now get rid of let's see, the left, and now implement an image property, so img, and give it a source, and our source image that we have to give it is called logo. But before that, we need to give our HTML this thing a color, because you can see that it is plain white. So with regards to that, let me give it the color property so that we can continue. All I just have to do is go to the first aspect of my code where I've implemented my padding and margin of 0. Now let me give it a background color of, let's see, I already have this color that I'll be using for this website. So this is the background color. So I'll just copy the RGB channel. Now come to my CSS. Now let me just paste it. Copy it. Now let me just paste it. Now when I paste it and now save it. Now let me refresh my browser. You can see that it have now showed. So all I just have to do is now implement my image with the source, and the image source name is logo. So let me check. Okay, it's logo. So logo, and the extension is png, so logo.png. Now when I save it and now head to my browser and refresh it, you can see that our logo is being displayed. And also our logo also has a name attached to it, which is what, wash. So below the image, let me just add the name which is wash. So now let me save it. Now when you refresh, you can see that it's not aligning really well, so we need to add a CSS property to it. So let me move my CSS property and add the property needed. So first of all, I need to call the image. So with regards to that, our code is in the left navbar. So before that, I have to change the font size of the left navbar, because the text has to increase inside. So dot left underscore nav double bracket. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, left nav. Okay, left nav. So now let me give it a font size of 30 pixels. Now let me call for the image of the left navbar. So left navbar img. in between it. Now let me give it a position of relative. Position of relative. Move it from the top. From the top, let me move it from the top. So 15 pixel from the top. So, and also let me move it from the left and give it an 8 pixel from the left. Now when I save my file and my browser and refresh, you see that it have changed and what in size. But with regard to that, I want all my text to be white. So let me move to my asterisk and make my color white so that all my text will be displayed on the screen as what white, since we have changed our background color. Now when we refresh, you can see that our text have changed in what color. Now we have implemented the left aspect. Now let's move to the middle aspect. So with regards to this middle aspect, I'm going to use the order list, an order list. So let me move to my CSS and move to the middle aspect and get rid of this. Now UL for the on order list. Now LI, since I showed you how to implement if we want something to be repeated 3 times, so 1 2 3, so all I just have to do, instead of typing li 3 times, all I just have to do is type li then times 3. You could see that the elements have been displayed 3 times. So let's start with the first element, which is shop. The second element is what? Trending. And the third element is washing powder. Okay, now when I save it and open my browser, now when I refresh it, you can see that the element is not displayed the way I want it. So since I want it to be displayed on the same line, I need to call the tag, which is the class name is middle nav. So I need to go to my CSS, now call the class name, which is middle underscore nav, and in between my bracket I need to display it on the same line. So display of, let's say, flex. No, we need to we need to target the UI. So middle, then we target the specific UI, this tag. So we are calling this class and we are targeting this UI, and we are giving it a display of, let's see, flex, since we want it to be displayed on the same line. And also we want it to move from the top, so we give it a margin top of 25 pixels. So now when we save it and now head to our browser and refresh, we see that it's being displayed on the same line, but we need to space them out. We need to give it space out. So we need to target our next element, which is, we call the class name UL and also LI, since the LI is basically the individual element. So first of all, I need to get rid of the boolean, the dot element. So all I just have to do is make a stored a list style of, let's say, none, or give it a padding right of 40 pixels, and also make the text bold. So font width bold. Now when I save it and now open my browser and refresh, you can see that my elements have been spaced out and the text is being aligned in the form of bold. So the next aspect that we need to take a look at is the card side. So now let me move to my CSS. Now let me get rid of the right side and implement the card tag. So all I just have to do is type the word card, and also I need to implement the number, should in case you add element to our basket. So all I just have to do is give it a div and type 1, and also give it a class name of, let's say, card number. Now I need to move to my CSS. Now let me save my HTML, move to my CSS. When I move to my CSS, I need to call the class name. The class name is nav, right nav, so dot right underscore nav. Then in between my bracket, I want the card and what the one should be displayed on the same line, so I'll make it a display of flex, and I'll give it a margin of 20, a margin of 10 pixels, and give it a margin top, because I want it to move from the topmost aspect, so give it a margin top of, let's say, 25 pixels. Now let me save it, and when we open our browser and refresh it, you could see that it has been positioned at the exact location that we want our element to be. But we need to add this aspect to our card, so all we just have to do is call the card number so that we can make changes to it. So let's call the class name, so dot right navbar, then dot, what's the class name, dot number, to call the specific class name, or let's just call the class name direct and see, and double calibrate it. In between it, let's give it a position of, let's say, relative, give it a background color of the card color. This is the color for the card, so that's the background color for the card. Now let's give it a height of let's give it a height of 20 pixels, give it a width of 20 pixels, give it a color of black, let's give it a padding, a left padding of 13 pixels, and also a border radius, so that the edges will be curved. So let's give it a border radius of 20 pixels, and also give it a margin left of, let's say, 15 pixels. So a margin left of 15 pixels. Now let's save it, and let's head to our browser. Now when we refresh, you can see that our element is being displayed the exact way we want it. Basic. Now let's check our website. You could see that we need to implement this aspect. So all we just have to do is create a div tag and divide it into two sector. So with regards to that, let's move to our HTML and start implementing it. So when we go to our HTML aspect, all we just have to do is implement a div tag. Let's give it a class name of, let's say, banner. Okay, a class name of, let's say, banner. And since our website is going to be displayed into two sectors, so I will implement two div, one for the right and one for the left. So I'll call the div tag and give it a class name of, let's say, left, and also implement another div tag and give it a class name of, let's say, right. So now let's implement this aspect. So with regards to this aspect, I want them to be displayed on the same line. So let me type here left, and type here let me now implement it. So let me copy the text being displayed here, which is this one. Now paste it here, and okay, now let me paste it here and also paste it here. Now when I save it, now let me open my browser. Now when I refresh, you can see that it has been displayed at the left side, which we don't want that. So we need to display our thing in the form of what, on the same line. So let me call that banner class and display it on the same line. So let me call the class which is banner, and now give it a display property of, let's see what, flex. A display property of flex. Now since we want it to move away from the edges, so let's give it a margin of, let's say, 60 pixels. And since we want it to be spaced out, so we'll give it justify content space between. Now when I save it and now open my browser and refresh it, you can see that our element have been aligned the way we want it. So the only thing we just have to do is replace it with the text. So now let's delete this aspect and now implement two div tag, one div tag for this and the other for the bottom aspect. So let's just jump right into it. So let me implement the div and give it a class name of, say, let's say left banner, left underscore banner. Now let's paste our text. Let's copy and paste our text. This text. Now let's paste it here. Now let's implement the second div, which will mainly be for the buy now button. So let's give it a class name of, let's say, buy. Let's give it a class name of buy. Okay, buy banner. In between the buy banner class, let's implement a paragraph. And now let me copy and paste this text. Copy and paste the text. Now let's implement the buy now button. So with regards to that, we are going to use the link tag, which is the E. Now type, okay, buy now. Now let's implement the last aspect, which will be the explore more. So let's give it a span tag, and let's see, give it a text of explore more. Now when we save it, now open our browser and now let's refresh. You can see that our text is being displayed, but this is not the way we want it. So now we need to move to our CSS and call the classes and make the changes. First of all, we need to make changes to the text and also rearrange the element really well. So first of all, let's call the banner left class, so left underscore banner. Now let's increase the font. Let's give it a font size of, let's say, 80 pixels. Okay, and give it a width of let's give it a width of, let me say, 600 pixels, since the font size is going to be big. Now let's call the buy now the buy now button, which is basically this, so that we can make changes to our paragraph. So let's call the buy now class. So okay, buy now class. Now let's move it from the top. Let's give it a margin top of, let me see, 30 pixels, and also let's give it a bottom, a margin bottom, to give a space at the bottom aspect. Let's give it that one to 50 pixels. Now let me call my paragraph in that the buy banner. Okay, so this paragraph is referring to this one. So let me now make styling to it. So with regards to it, let me give it a width of, let's see, 450 pixels. Now let me call the length tag and also make changes to it. So It's also as the buy banner. Let me check to see. Okay, buy banner and okay, the link tag. Okay, now let me make changes to the link tag. Let me give it a position of, let's say, relative. Move it from the top of, let me say, 60 pixels. Let me give it a background color of, let's see, okay, this is my the buy now color. Okay, buy now color, the RGB channel. Let me copy and paste. Okay, let me give it a border radius since I want the edges to be rounded. So let me give it a border radius of, let's see, 30 pixels. And also let me give it a max width of, let's say, 450 pixels. Now let me call the spam tag to the buy banner with regards to the span. Okay, the span tag. All I just have to do is give it a position of, let's say, relative. Move it from the top, let's see, 60 pixels. Okay, and give it a border radius of, let's see, 30 pixels, and they'll change the border color. So change the border color. Okay, let me just change the property of the border. So give it a width of 1 pixel to make it solid, and also copy the RGB channel of this, and now implement it. So the RGB channel. Okay, let me give it a padding of, let me see, a padding of, let's see, padding of 20 pixels. Now let me save it. Now let me open my browser and refresh. You can see that my text is being displayed, but with regards to my buy now button, it's not aligned. I need to change. This one was referring to the paragraph. Oh no, this one was referring to the e-link, and this one was referring to the paragraph. So now let me save it. Now let me refresh my browser. You could see that my element is being aligned the way I want it, but I need to add padding to my link tag. So with regards to this, let me give it a padding of, let's see, 20 pixels. So a padding of 20 pixels. And when I save it and open my browser, I refresh, you can see that my button is being displayed. So now let's implement the right mode aspect, which is basically the image which is displayed. So let me move to my HTML tag, and now come here, img, implement the image. What is the image tag name? So the name is washing. So all I just have to do is give it a source of washing and png. Now let me save it. Now open my browser. Now when I refresh it, you could see that my washing machine have been displayed in our browser. Now let me implement the last aspect, which is this image being displayed in the button. So let me call the div and give it a class name. Give it a class name of, let's say, okay, a class name of laundry underscore container. Okay, with regards to this, I'm going to give them 3 elements since the image is going to be displayed 3 times. So div times 3. And now let me give the first div class name of, let's see, small pic. Now let me give the second class name of, let's say, large. Okay, large, large, also small pig and large pig, and the large are smooth. Let me also give this a name of, let's say, large pig XL. So now let me save it. Now let me head to my style and make what the changes. So with regards to this, all I just have to do is call the container first, which is the laundry container. Let me call the laundry container, sorry, and open the bracket. In between the bracket, first of all, I need to move it from the top. So let me move it from the top of, let's say, 10 pixels. Okay, give it a position of, let's say, relative. Since I want it to be displayed on the same line, so display of course reflect. Now let's me give it individual height and width. So let me call the first div with the class name. So the class name, which is the small pic, and let me make it a height of, let's say, 230 pixels. Give it a width of, let's see, 330 pixels. Okay, make it a, okay, justify content, let's center, give it a, since justify from center, I want the edges to be round, so give it a border radius of, let's see, border radius of 50 pixels. Let me give it a margin bottom of 30 pixels, and let me give it a padding. Okay, padding left of, let's see, 20 pixels, since I want it to shift away from the distance. Now let me implement the image, so give it a background image, and now URL in the bracket. Now let me implement the name of what the first image, which is detergent. So let me copy the name. Now head there, repeat the name, sorry, detergent.png, but it should be in what, this way. Okay, it should be in a location. So basically, now I need to give it a background of, let's say, no repeat, background of no, okay, I need to give it a background of no repeat, so a background repeat, okay, background repeat, no repeat, and this is for the first element. So now let me implement the second one, which is the last pic. So let me call the class name. Okay, now let me open it up. Now let me give it a justify content of, let's say, center. Give it a height of, let's see, also center. Give it a height of, let's say, 230 pixels. Okay, give it a width of 470 pixels. Make the edge one, so border radius of a border radius of 50 pixels. Margin left of left of 40 pixels. Padding left of, let's say, 20 pixels. And let me implement the image, so background image, the name, let me check the image that we are going to use for the second one, which is this one. So the name of the image is what, okay, basket. So URL. Yeah, is basket. Basket.jpg. Now let's make the background repeat this now. Okay, after making the background repeat of now, let's move to the last aspect, which is the last image that I need to implement, which is the last image SL. So now I'll call the class name image unit. Let me give it specified content of, let's say, center. Let me give it a height of 230 pixels. Give it a width of, let's say, 170 pixels. Margin left of 40 pixels. Padding left of, let's say, 20 pixels. Implement the image, so background image, okay, URL, then bucket, then the name is machine.png, and let me give it a background repeat of, let's say, now let me save my HTML file. I head to my browser. Now let me refresh it. You could see that my image is being displayed, but with regards to the last aspect, I needed to make reciprocal content. I hide the width, margin left of, let's say, okay, I need to make the edges round, so our border radius of, let's see, 50 pixels. Border radius of, let's say, 50 pixels. And now we save it. Now we head to my browser. Let me refresh it. You will see that my image is still being displayed this way. So let me give it a background color of white, and let me see a background color of white. Now when I save it from my browser and refresh it, you will see that my element is being displayed in the background. So basically, this is how to create this awesome website using but before we go, you can see that our element is being aligned to the leftmost part, whilst with regards to our website is being pushed from the left aspect. So we need to make that adjustment before we conclude our video. So it was supposed to be margin left, okay, margin left of 20 pixels. So now let me save my file. We just had to change this aspect. Instead of we just had to change the padding here to margin, and also we had to make the changes also here. So instead of padding left, it's supposed to be margin left of, let's say, 20 pixels. So now let me save it. Now open my browser. Now when I refresh it, you will see that my element is being pushed away from the edges. But with regards to this, you can add, let's see, another margin to the box. So let's see, let me give it a margin of, let's say, 20 pixels. Now when we save it in our browser and refresh it, you see that our element have been pushed from the left side. So basically, this is how to create this awesome laundry website using basically CSS, using basically HTML and CSS. Thank you, and see you in the next video.